Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my review on Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, if you saw my last review, I did Strange World, and I tried recording it on my phone, but I'm gonna try my laptop again. I do have an editing software for my laptop, so I do want to try that. But yeah, this is my review on Avatar: The Way of Water. So, I liked it. I saw this with my dad and my sister and her boyfriend, and she's like, and they didn't like. Well, my sister and her boyfriend didn't like it, but my dad, I think he thought it was okay. But yeah, as for me, I liked it. I thought it was a really great movie. I liked the CGI was really outstanding. Like, there's moments where they're underwater, and I'm like, that looks like they're underwater. Like, that is top notch, amazing. Like, that CGI is gonna hold up very well. Like, people will look at that 30 years and people will be like, that's top notch CGI. So I liked it. The another thing. Okay, so what's the story? Well, Jake Sully, the character from the last movie, and his wife Neytiri has kids now, but one of the kids is named Kiki, and she's played by Sigourney Weaver, but they use CGI and voice modulation to change her voice to look like she's supposed to be this 14-year-old girl, but she's actually the daughter of her avatar, the Sigourney Weaver's character's avatar that she gave birth. They don't explain it, but yeah, apparently she has a daughter in this, and they adopted her, which is nice. So they have like four kids now, the two brothers and another little girl, and Spider. Apparently, Spider, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but there's a human character named Spider that acts like the Na'vi and lives with them with dreadlocks, and his and he's actually the son of the Colonel guy who's back, but he's like a Navi Avatar character. Like, he died, but the Colonel died. If you remember in the last movie, the Colonel died, but here he's back, but as a Navi Avatar. So he's back, but as a clone, because they downloaded his memory inside him, inside this one, so he's like a clone, which is pretty interesting. Now there's like evil Navi Avatar that are clones of the soldiers, so that's something. I really thought that was interesting. So the Colonel's son, Spider, who's, like I said, like a Navi, because my sister was talking about it, and she's like, where did he had a son? Like, well, apparently there's a. I was on the Wikipedia because I want to remember a character's name, and apparently there's a comic that's a prequel. So to understand what's going on here, you have to read a comic to understand certain plot elements. Yeah, for those of you who are upset that the Star Wars sequel trilogy didn't tie anything from the spin-off comics or novels, this is why, because now you have to read a comic to understand what this is, like who's the mother, and yeah, they don't explain who the mother is in this. You have to read a comic, which is pretty frustrating. But besides that, the Spider Kid is a good character. But the story, they had to leave the village. Jake Sully and his family had to leave the village because he's worried that he's going to put the tribe in danger, which doesn't make any sense. Like, when the tribes stand together and fight Jake Sully together, fight the Colonel together, like, that's kind of weird. So he leaves the tribe and lives with this water tribe people, not to be confused with another water tribe in another show called Avatar. Anyways, so here there mean other Na'vi that kind of has a bit of an African tribe feel to it has that has more underwater things, and they get to hook up to these fish and go down, and one of the son becomes friends with a whale who is banished, which I really like the whale's friendship, and they save the day at the end. And Kiki, I do want to talk about Kiki. I think that's her name. Kiki, I really liked as a character. I thought she was Like, she had all these powers and she connected to them, but you see all her dilemmas. I thought she was a pretty cool character. But with that said, sorry. But with that said, the brothers. Okay, I kind of forget the brothers that much. Like, the brothers, I forget their names, but I do remember, like, one was favored, but I couldn't tell them apart. Like, wait, which one was favored? Which one was favored? But either way, so one of the brother, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but one of the brother dies and saves, but then tries to redeem himself by going to the boat to stop the girl and help everybody. But then there's a scene where but then the whole family goes and rescues the little sisters because they were captured. And then they face the colonel and they're like, hi, yeah. But then, which is a big epic scene, which got nervous. And then at the end, they escape. But then Spider saves the colonel dad, which is weird, but I guess I kind of understood it because he's still his father. Like, even he didn't want to save him, but he felt like it's kind of the principle. But there is a scene later, I forgot to mention, where he gets captured and by them, and then they have to spend time, and then he shows them how to connect to the pterodactyl creature things. And yeah, so then which is a pretty interesting. The Colonel, I know the Colonel, some people think he's one-dimensional or one-note, but I don't know, just that kind of talk like, easy, Tiger, that Southern Colonel personality, I kind of like that personality. Like, he's evil, but I wouldn't say he's the kind of you still feel bad for him, but he has that weird personality that you kind of do feel bad for him, but he's not a person you would feel bad for him. Like, he tries to help kill whales and kill other Navi, which is awful. Also, the whales. There's like this other whale hunters that need the whale because they have this goop that can reverse the aging. So yeah, it's that another environmental message about stopping the oppressors, some of the evil business guys. There's even a scene where a rope got tied to them because of the whale, and one of the persons lost their arm, and I'm like, woo! And my dad was like, I didn't need to see that. Well, it's 3 hours long, but I did kind of enjoy watching that. My sister and her boyfriend, Jake, yeah, but my sister and her boyfriend did not enjoy it. 3 hours. They felt like 4 hours, which is weird. Well, but anyway, there is a really touching scene where, because one of the son died, and Neytiri was like, a son for a son, and holding Spire against his will is and Spire's like, just let him go to Tiger, and literally scratched him, but then the Colonel's like, no, wait, and then Jake was like, I'm taking you down. And yeah, so I wonder what's going to happen in the next movie. Like, are they going to talk that he saved the Colonel? The Spider saved the Colonel? What's going to happen about that? And what about Neytiri and Spider's relationship? Like, are they gonna reconcile? Like, keeping her hostage? Was she bluffing? Was she serious? Like, are they gonna fix their relationship together? That's interesting. Well, I don't know what else is there to talk about, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I would wish, because, no, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if it needed to be 3 hours. There's a lot of stuff. I can't think of anything that needed to be cut, but I really enjoyed the story. My sister says it didn't feel like it had a plot, and another problem that people might have is that, because people might praise it for the visuals and not the story. Because a great movie has to come from its story and characters. Like, when you look at all the great movies, like superhero movies, Star Wars, anything, the great part about movies is caring about the story and caring about the characters. That's the whole point and dilemma. However, if you just say, like, visuals, beautiful, this, I don't know, but for starters, but I guess I did like it. I like Avatar, The Way of Water. So that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully tomorrow I might review Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I want to see that movie. I like the animation, and I haven't seen it yet. Probably might see it tomorrow. I might see what happens. And hope you enjoyed my review, and see you next time.